Welcome to this new video. So today we are going to have a look at the next topic, that is attainment of superelevation in the physics. I've promised that I'll share the video related to radius of a curve, but that will be shared further because this is the next topic that we need to study. So let's have a look. How superelevation is attained in the field needs to be understood. So on a straight portion of road, the camber is provided on both sides of the center line of the road, right? But on portion of the cross section on circular curve is super elevated uniformly, sloping down from the outer edge up to the inner edge of the pavement. This is also visible in the figure as well. On a straight edge, the camber is provided in the both the directions, but on a curved road, let me write it also here. Write it here also. This is representing straight section, and this is circular curve, right? So on a circular curve, the outer edge is raised to provide sufficient superelevation, as we have discussed in the previous question. This numerical we also have discussed, and in the previous concepts also we have discussed about this. Next is superelevation is attained in two stages. There are two ways to attain the superelevation. First one is by a removal of crown of the camber section. This camber is gradually shifted to this side, and as it reaches this position, there is very high slope available on this portion, and that is why this method is not considered. And next is attainment of superelevation by rotating the pavement. What we are trying to say is, if shifting of crown is being done in subsequent cross sections, the slope available on the outer edge of the road would be very great at some point. That will cause the toppling of vehicles, so that is not preferred. What this is depicting is, the crown is gradually removed like cross section is. As the cross section increases, the slope of the outer edge of the cross section of the section is raised. That is what it is depicting. So for first step, let us have a look. Most common and practical method used is by rotating outer edge of the pavement about crown to attain super elevation. This method protects the center line of the pavement and keeps it intact. So these are the different cross sections over the length of the curve. As the road or the as the road enters the, what do you call it, traverse. I need to see that where it is known as superelevation, transverse curve or transition curve. It is known as transition curve. As the road enters the transition curve, the gradual introduction of superelevation starts, and the cross section starts. The outer edge of the road starts raising, and as soon as it reaches the inner edge, we are, first of all, it is made sure that the outer edge and inner edge is in the same slope as well as the camber section, or as the camber of the road, right? Next is stage 2, rotation of pavement to attain full superelevation. It is done in two ways. First, it could be rotated against this center line. If it is rotated about the center line, what happens is, the center line of the road keeps intact. If it is rotated about the inner edge, right, there are two methods for that. When crown of the camber is eliminated, the cross slope or superelevation is equal to the camber of the road. That is correct. If superelevation to provided is greater than the camber, the whole pavement is rotated further to attain the desired superelevation. Two methods are there. By rotating the pavement about center line, depressing inner edge and raising the outer edge. This is the way. As soon as the pavement reaches this position, it is rotated about the center line and The outer edge is raised and inner edge is depressed. There are some benefits to both the sections. We'll discuss it as it comes. By rotating pavement about the inner edge such that outer second method is first method is to rotate about the center edge. Second method is to rotate about the inner edge. By rotating the pavement about the inner edge such that the outer edge is raised by full amount of superelevation that is desired. Superelevation is achieved by raising the outer edge to the desired superelevation, right? So these are the sections that I have drawn to clear make clarity about the make you clear about the understanding of the sections, right? So as this portion is basically the transition curve for the first point where pavement is starting to enter the transition curve. This is the longitude. These sections are longitudinal sections and these are the cross sections against each value, right? So the legend for the diagram is as below. The red line would be representing the inner edge and yellow line would be representing the outer edge. This yellow line is representing how the outer edge is behaving over the longitudinal section, and this red line is representing how the inner edge is behaving about the uh, whole transition curve or achievement of superelevation. So at this section, let us call this section 1 1. This will call 2 2. This will call 3 3, and this will be called 4 4. Right. So for section 1, the cross section has been shown in this figure. In this figure, the outer edge is represented by O and the inner edge is represented by I. The section is in the straight longitudinal section and the curve has not started yet, and hence the camber is being displayed in the figure. As soon as it moves from this point to this point, the outer edge starts to raise and it is now at this point. So it is represented in this cross section as well. The outer edge has been raised to this position and it is now straight, and inner edge is the road from inner edge to center line is still in the sloping position. Next is the section 3 3. In the section 3 3, the edge this edge has also been raised to the slope equal to the camber of the road. And next, for section 4 4, it is further rotated about the inner edge of the road and hence it is represented by section 4 4. The rotation about center line is represented in here. So it is not rotated about the inner edge, it is rotated about the center line. That is why the center line is being changing from the center line, or the horizontal alignment will change, right? The superelevation achieved would be E by 2 and E by 2 on both the sides, that is on outer edge as well as inner edge. For the top view, it will look something like this. This is known as transition curve, right? Section 4 4 is represented in 1 1. This and this and this is same. Next 2 2 and this is same. Next 3 3 and this is same. Next 4 4, and as soon as the horizontal curve starts, the total superelevation is completely achieved, right? Next is rotation about the inner edge. These are the cross sections for rotation about the inner edge. This is 1 1, this is 2 2, this is 3 3, this is 4 4. Sections are represented in the same diagram as in the previous diagram. The top view will be remaining same as represented in the this diagram, right? For cross section 1 1, the outer edge is at this position till this position till 3 3. The section will be similar to when the rotation is done about the center line, or the section 4 4 is such that it is rotated about the inner edge. The whole super elevation achieved is on the outer edge. So there are different benefits and sorry, different comparisons. There are some benefits for rotation about the center line. There are some benefits about the rotation about inner edge. We'll have a look at that. So the it interferes with the drainage system as the rotation is done about the center line. In this method is here. As the rotation is done upon the center line, it the lower the inner edge will be depressed, and that will cause the slope of the drain to be disturbed as compared to the straight section, and that is why it is less preferred for uh, regions where drainage to be provided. No problem with the drain. Rotation about the center line, one benefit is center line remains the same, and center line is elevated in the case of rotation about the inner edge. Earthwork is balanced. The earthwork that we need to carry out for this filling would be equal to this filling would be equal to this depression, and earthwork that we get from here will be transferred to filling for the opposite direction. So that is the benefit of rotation about the center line. Some points to be noted are, in case the transition curve is not provided, 2 by 3 of the elevation is super elevation is provided in the straight portion, and 1 by 3 at the beginning of the curve. Next, rate of raising of the outer edge is 1 in 150 and 1 in 60. This is for plain and rolling sections, and this is the mountainous and steep. 1 in 150, what is it representing is the slope for the raising of outer edge would be 1 in 150. Although it is not to be represented in this diagram, but I am just trying to depict it for clarity purposes, right? So this we have completed the rotation of pavement for attaining the super elevation. So that's all for today for this video. We'll continue the next video in regarding the radius of horizontal curve. Okay, thank you. Please like, subscribe and share the video. And if you want me to make a video about something, kindly comment about it. I'll most probably try to share the video on the topic. Thank you. Have a good day. Take care.